Hello friends, it's Cindy Brumbaugh from CindyLeeBDesigns.com, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Today's card can be used as a card, but also has a use as making a calendar. So if you saw this stamp set, Days to Remember, on page 18 of the Stampin' Up! Annual 2021-2022 catalog, you see how pretty it was that they put this on a card, but you can also make a calendar out of that. That's been a real popular thing, ordering the flip top calendars that you can rip off, but you can now make your very own. And it looks like, how would I possibly do this? I would have to work out everything, and guess what? It is so super easy. I'm going to show you just how to do it. So on this card, I'm going to be using that Days to Remember stamp set with all the months, some cute things that go along with days, like don't forget, happy birthday, it's your day, or a day to remember, like an anniversary, a wedding, a graduation. And then I'm going to use the new Flowers of Friendship along with the punch that comes with that, with this punch here that has some stuff stuck to it. So let's get started here. I use some of the new in colors on this card. This is the Fresh Freesia, and this is the Polished Pink and the Soft Succulent. And I'm gonna use my stamping blends to do some coloring, but let's take a look here first. You can see the neutral color I picked on here, in addition to the white, was the black. I think black pops with every color that we have, and so I decided to make that kind of the accent color on this card here. And so I just started out with a black piece, half sheet of cardstock, and that cardstock is 8.5 by 5.5, and then I scored it at 4 1/4. And then the inside white that's going to go in here has a 1/8 inch border around all 4 sides, so that makes it 5 1/4 by 4. So 4 by 5 1/4. All the measurements, all the colors, the products that I use on the card. Additional photos will be over on my blog, CindyLeeBDesigns.com. Underneath the YouTube description, you can see, visit my blog here, press that link, takes you right over to my blog, and you can see those things. So let's start here with how easy it is to do this calendar. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do is, when you're actually making the calendar, is look on a paper calendar you have, an online calendar, your phone most likely, that's the most accessible, and see where the day number 1 starts on your calendar. And that is the biggest thing you have to figure out. Once you know that, you're good. So this one is made for my one of my super dear friends, Wendy, and she's a July 12th birthday. And so that's why I picked the month July 12. On this card, I'm going to make for another sweet dear friend of mine, who's been a friend of mine for like almost 30 years now. And her birthday is September 21st. So what I did is I looked on my phone and I found out that September 21st started on a Tuesday. So then you'll take whatever size card, whatever size paper you want to do. If you actually just want to freeform this on a piece of white and then decide what you want to die cut it with, I actually use the So Sentimental, oh, here they are, the So Sentimental dies. Oh no, Stitch So Sweetly. They went with the So Sentimental stamp set. They were bundled. But Stitch So Sweetly dies with the little scalloped rectangles with some stitching, and these all cool dies as well. So I use this one. You could definitely use the contour, scalloped contour dies too. As I was playing around with this and, you know, just making little samples, I saw that you could use one of the dies that's in the scalloped contour dies that's in the new catalog. But I went ahead and just used this Stitched So Sweetly. So the first thing is you want to kind of get a look at it and decide, I need a little space at the top for my month to go. And then you're going to have the days of the week. This stamp set comes with the days of the week starting on Monday or Sunday. I prefer Sunday whenever I'm doing it, so I use that. So you could, but you can pick either one that you want to do. So that is going to be the first thing that I stamp first. So we're going to pull this aside, and I decided to use our basic tuxedo black memento, and that'll bring out the accent of the black card base in the border I put around it. So I just ink that up. And then I'm going to know that I need a little bit of space at the top for my month to go. And I'm gonna put the Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And that was my first step in accomplishing that. Now, once I, remembered that September 21st starts on a Tuesday, this is the super, super cool thing about this stamp set. When Stampin' Up! Developed this, they made the numbers that would go on a calendar the same width as our stamp sets. So is that cool or what? So I'm gonna open up the stamp set, and what I'm gonna do is look on here, and I'm going to see that if I want a Tuesday to be the number 1, I'm gonna put that out of the way here. So I want Tuesday. So I'm gonna look at this, and I want Tuesday, and you can see, hopefully you can see, maybe I'll bring it up a close. I want the 1 to start on a Tuesday. So that means if I want the 1 on Tuesday, I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 is going to be my last number here. So you're going to want to use this 5, 12, 19, 26 as the one edge of your stamping, and then the other one will fall into place. So let me show you here. So bring your ink pad over. And what did I say? We said we wanted 5, 12, 19, and 26. Now, when I put this down on the ink pad, you can see it's only catching the month I want. Stamp it, pull it off to the side, bring this back down, and then I put the 1 underneath the Tuesday, line it up, hoping that I've got it straight, and stamp it down, hold it for a second there, pull it up, voila, one step, it's done. So now on this one here, I'm gonna put the September. Now I do wish on this one, when I made this first, I put the July right in the middle of the days of the week. But if I had it to do over again, which I could have done it, but I did it too many times already, I would have put the July off to the side. So what we're gonna do on this card is I'm going to close my ink pad because that's just an accident waiting to happen. I'm actually gonna do the September in the Fresh Freesia, but I'm gonna skew it off to the right side. So I'm just gonna, remember when you're using a little stamp, just little taps on your ink pad. We don't have to do any CPR stamping. There we go. So now I'm gonna put this September off to the side here. I'm gonna get a little more ink on that. I'm gonna put that September off to the side because I know my flowers are gonna be in there. Stamp the September. There you go. And that brings, as you can see, the Fresh Freesia into there. And then we wanna bring in some of the polished pink that was the color I did the numbers in. Now, we're gonna be using that. I'm gonna put this off to the side. I am going to, if you hear, hey, this is a good thing. My husband is vacuuming. I told him I was gonna make a video, not to holler up here. So he literally decides that right now is the time to vacuum. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So here we go. We're going to take a look at our punch to know exactly where it's going to be easiest to come into the punch. So what I did is then I stamped my flower, and then I just went ahead and colored it in. The first time when I made this other card up here, I stamped them all, cut them all, and then I had to color them, and they were a little difficult to hold on to whenever they, so there we go. We're gonna punch that out. It was a little difficult to hold on to while I was coloring, so I said this time I'm going to keep them colored before. So then the next thing is these little polished pink flowers. Now these ones, I knew they'd have to go in this way. Now look how the punch has like an X for the flower. So on that one, now notice this one was a cross. So I stamped it that way. This one I did as I knew it would go into the punch. Makes things a lot easier. So then I'm going to get this straight here. Once again, I'll give that excuse of the angle you have to be at when you're doing a video. So we're going to get our pink flower, and then we're going to get another pink flower, and I can put it off and hold it off to this side here. And then I'll just punch another pink flower. So I've got my 2 pinks and my 1 freesia. And then you want to do your leaves. Now the leaves, you'll also take a look at the leaves and see that the end part of the leaf is on this side for the bigger flowers. So I stamped them accordingly. Like, see how they're put off so that I can put them right in there. And just, like I said, stamped them in the Memento Tuxedo Black and then colored them in with the soft succulent, and then I can just pop them out. And boy, it's a pain in the behind when you don't know, like you stamp everything and you haven't taken into account how they fit into the punch. So let me just get a couple more of these, because you never know whenever you're designing this if you're going to add a couple leaves here or there. And I actually might change mine up just a little bit. So we've got another big one. And let's do one more. Just pop it in there. These punches have like a kind of a initial thing, like I'm holding it in place before I can get it really ready to punch. So it's kind of nice because it doesn't punch the whole way through unless you put the effort into it. So the other one is I need some small ones. And once again, I looked at the way the punch went, and the pointier end is down towards the outside of the punch. So that is how I stamped my leaves. In basic black, well, basic in our tuxedo black with our Memento, and then I just easily used our alcohol blends, markers, and got some pretty, like I said, it's really hard at the angle I'm at to see what I'm doing. And one more. Now, I got a piece of paper caught in my punch, and that always can pose a little bit of a problem of getting a little locked in there. Now, notice I'm having a little trouble here getting this into where I want it to be. So my trick to that is to make myself a little handle. And that's as easy as taking a little piece of tape and taping it and making myself a little handle. Now, there we go, blow that paper out. I have something to hold on to, and I can punch that. There we go. Gives me even a little bit of wiggle room there. Okay, there we go. Okay, we're gonna set that punch aside. We have all these little flowers and these leaves all colored, all pretty. And now we can start building our card. Let me get my Stampin' Seal Plus, and I'm just gonna put on this beautiful fresh freesia on the front here. Just need a little bit in the corners. Don't have to go adhesive crazy there. And this piece of designer series paper that comes in all the 40 sheets, 6x6, in all 5 of the new in colors. And it's 5 1/4 by 4, just like the inside of the card. And then I put the black and the white from the Stitch So Sweetly. And I'm just gonna go ahead and put some adhesive on there as well. Okay, and then we're gonna center that onto our black. There we go. And then I popped this whole thing up with dimensionals because I wanted it to have some pizzazz there. So I'm just gonna put some dimensionals in the corners, and I'm gonna put one in the middle. I actually think I'm gonna go dimensional crazy here. Move that aside. All those little speckles are driving me bonkers. So there we go. We'll just pull off all of our protective covering, and there's always that one. Oops, see that middle one. Okay, now I was thinking of bringing this one down into the corner and kind of offsetting it. So we're gonna just have a different look on this one. So I just kind of thought, I centered this one, but I thought I might just bring this one down into the corner here. Just another design there. Okay, so what we're gonna do is put some glue on the part of the leaves that are gonna go so that you can glue them onto here. So I just go ahead and put a little bit of, let me get a glue that works here. And I'm just gonna put a little dab on these here. And then I can just build up the leaf on my flower. Hold it in place there a second. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea to have our craft mat out, our silicone craft mat. I want to get this down a little bit. Hold it a second. Just need a little bit more time when you're, ooh, see, that's why you want to have your craft mat out. That silicone craft mat, which is, I know it's on my table, it's just underneath something. There we go. We're going to put a dimensional under on the back, and that's going to go onto this upper left-hand corner. We're going to bring it down, and I'm thinking I like it there. And so we've got the fresh freesia there. We've used it 1, 2, 3. And then I'm considering the pink 1, 2, 3 pinks there. And we're going to do the same thing here. And on this one, I just put the leaves off to the 2 sides of the petals. And again, I'm just going to put a little dab of glue. 1, 2. This is a big one. I need 2 small ones. A little glue there and another little dab there. Okay, now I can just build up, and I'm just going to do it on 2 petals, like on this side of the petal. And there we go. Have to hold it just a second when you're doing the glue. I was finding my tape runner was just a little too hard to get adhesive on. So we've got one there, and I'm going to go ahead and stick a dimensional on the back of there as well. And actually, I think I might pull out the leaves a tiny bit. This one actually went flying on me. Okay. Put a dimensional on the back of the pink, polished pink. What a pretty pink. What a pretty pink. Okay, then we're going to put a leaf here and a leaf there. So those are 2 right beside each other. Okay, and then another dimensional on the back so we can give some fun to those flowers. This one needs to come out a little bit though. He moved on me. Okay. Well, maybe not. Okay, so there we go. We got the dimensional and then really put it down. So then I can kind of pop this posy down here in this corner. And see, that's where I think I might stick another one on there. And then this one is going to go up in this corner. There we go. And I think it does look a little naked there, so I'm going to actually put a little Seal Plus on here because I want this to actually, there we go. I want it to actually, it's glue pretty quickly. So I'm gonna just put that Stampin' Seal right under there. I just think that needed another, there we go. I think it needed another leaf down here. You don't notice it really. Oh, I guess we could stick one in there. Huh? Let me see. What would it look like having another one in here? No, I think I like it just that way. Okay, to decorate up this, I of course use my black matte dots, Cindy's favorite. And I just got my take your pick tool, and I put the small black matte dots, of course, on the smaller flowers. Put it right there in the middle. That's why I love using black as an accent, because there's so many different things that you can do with that. And then we'll get a bigger black one, put right there in the middle. So there we go. We have 2 different looks there. I like having this off to the side more than in the middle. And I liked kind of skewing it down there. So now what I'm gonna do is stamp some flowers on the inside, or actually I can just show you what I did. What I did was I just stamped the bigger flower and the smaller flower that coordinated with the way I did them on the outside, did the double pink and the fresh freesia there with the soft succulent. Then I did the It's Your Day and Happy Birthday. So that kind of carried the inside. As you notice here, I've got the flowers up on the left here, but on the inside they're on the right. So that makes like a nice design there. So let's just do a little look so you can see here what this looks like. And Jim just turned on the television, so we are going to sign off right now. So if you have any questions, please feel free to jump over to my blog, cindyleeBdesigns.com, or you can give me a call or text me at 724-323-2296. Thanks for buzzing by, friends.